What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, if y'all don't mind, please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. I thank everybody for the love and support. Let's get into the work. Because Luka Doncic, man, has done something I think very few young NBA players are able to do. And that's carry a team to an NBA Finals, man. You know, Luka bore a heavy weight on his shoulders with this Dallas Maverick squad as constructed. Essentially, had two different teams in one NBA season after some trades that the Dallas Mavericks had made. But for him, man, he was just phenomenal throughout the NBA playoffs, throughout the NBA Finals as well. Uh, as I was looking at his numbers throughout the NBA Finals, he averaged 29.2 points, 8.8 rebounds, 5.6 assists. Had a game high of 32 points, a triple double, 32, 11, and 11. Another game of 30 points, 29, 28, 27. See his percentages. We never shot less than 40% from the field. Could have did better at the 3-point line and as well as the free throw line. But at the end of the day, Luka really showed me that he has some dog in him, some NBA championship caliber dog in him, not just, reserved for the regular season. He's shown me that he can lead a team. But I have some criticisms for Luka. And as far as the title of this video is Can Luka get back to the NBA Finals? I believe he can. He's going to have to make just a few adjustments, just a few things that I've seen from this NBA playoff run, and especially in the finals, of course. Some things that I think that Luka could change off the bat is his diet, and his attrition. Luka has to, and whatever Kyrie Irving is doing, Luka needs to start doing, because Kyrie doesn't seem to get tired or fatigued. Kyrie's only problem for me, and I'm cooking up a video for him, was that he seemed to be intimidated in Boston. Had some decent games in Dallas, but in Boston, like a totally different Kyrie. But again, I got another video cooking up on that. But for Luka, I just think that diet, his health, his attrition, that's number one. Everybody can see it. Even Stevie Wonder could see that Luka was gassed out, especially at the end of games, but definitely towards the end of that Game 4 blowout and Game 5 as well. Outside of that, Luka has to change his play style a little bit more to being more of a facilitator. Now, I don't really have a problem with the triple-double type, players, as we've seen this archetype before with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Oscar Robertson is probably the first to ever do it, Magic Johnson, LeBron, and now Luka and Joker, probably the two best in that triple-double type system. But I think that Luka could win in that system. I had my concerns before, but Luka seems to be able to do enough, and still get his numbers. The only thing, though, is that he has to become more of a facilitator than a scorer. And when I say that, I'm referencing Joker. Just a year prior in the 2023 NBA Finals, we've seen Joker average a triple-double and do essentially, put up some phenomenal numbers, essentially what Luka did, a little bit better in the efficiency department. But Luka and Joker are probably total opposites when it comes to player type. As Joker is more of a facilitator, gets his team involved, and then Joker will get his, when he has to, and when the game calls for it. Luka kind of enforces his will on the game, especially early on in those the first one. I like to say the first half, especially, but to open up a game, first 10 plays, Luka's looking to enforce his will on the other team. I think that's cool and all. You can save some gas for the fourth quarter, but we all know how strenuous the game of basketball is. 48 long minutes on that court will take a lot out of anybody. So if Luka wants to have enough in the tank for an NBA Finals run, a potential possibly 7-game series in the NBA Finals, he's got to get that health right, and he's got to stop. He got to take a little bit more of the responsibility off his shoulders as far as being the scorer and as far as, getting those numbers. Be more of a facilitator and get a little bit more acquiesced um, with your teammates so that you can have some gas at the end of the games. Because that's one thing about Joker. I think I can appreciate. Joker usually has something left in his tank for the game, just in case he has to close it. Number three, and it's not really so much on Luka. The Dallas Mavericks have to get another guy on that team that can score, a bona fide scorer. Now, Kyrie, is a great guy, but like I said, I have my concerns about Kyrie. I don't think that Kyrie alarm was terrible. Excuse me, and I don't think that the Dallas Mavericks should move off of Kyrie, but they have to get a bona fide number three, and I think more of a post presence versus another wing player. PJ Washington, yes, is a good player, great guy. It seems like he's meshed in the Mavericks nation very well. But these guys need a post presence, and I'm not sure if Luka would want that, because that would slow down the game incredibly. But you need it. You can't just throw oops all game. You can't depend on uh, your center and your power forward to just be pogo sticks, just jumping just to get the ball every time. You need somebody to be able to slow that game down, like Kristaps Porzingis did against the Dallas Mavericks. When the Boston Celtics needed to kind of uh, sway the pace of the game in their favor, when Kristaps was available. They dumped the ball down to him. They usually had a mismatch on him, or he'd take a couple dribbles, throw it back out, and just get the playing chess instead of checkers. That's what a post player allows your team game plan to do. It allows a little bit more of a strategic factor in there. So Dallas Mavericks have to get a post presence. I'm thinking a guy like Julius Randle, if he's available. Somebody on the likes of that. It doesn't have to be a superstar, or somebody respectable, somebody formidable. Um, Another thing I had on my mind. Oh yes, the attitude, the ego. We got to come up off that, Luke. I think that's cool and all. Yes, he is a superstar. Yes, he's supposed to get his quote unquote superstar calls. But Luka cries to the refs a little bit too much, and I think it works against him. As again, I made a video or a YouTube short, whatever, whichever one about this, where Brian Windhorst cooked Luka. He cooked him about his constant complaining to the referees, and he believes that Game 3, when Brian Windhorst anyway, believes that the Luka's berating of the referees is the reason why they wasn't getting certain calls down the stretch. And to a degree, I do agree with that. I do think that Luka is a bit excessive and trying to get those ticky tack calls that you usually get in the regular season. But again, this was his first NBA Finals run. Perhaps he just wasn't aware of the fact that those whistles ain't there in the NBA Finals. Things do get a little. Excuse me, let me say it like this: the physicality does get turned up in the NBA playoffs. Just respectfully, I don't think that Luka was fully prepared for that aspect of the playoffs. He was getting, you're getting some of those calls in the first round, second round, maybe even the Western Conference Finals, but in the NBA Finals, in the NBA Finals, it's a lot more chess than checkers. And you got to play the same team potentially 7 times, at minimum 4 times. So the referees may not be very consistent all the time with how they're calling the game. But anyway, that's just a couple points that I think that if Luka is able to tweak, add, take a little bit away from his game, he'll definitely be back in the NBA Finals. I don't know if the Dallas Mavericks will look the exact same as they do now, but I know that Luka is very capable to get back there and carry a team there. It's just all about what can he do to finally get over the hump himself and become an NBA champion. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. It is Tony the Savant. Please, once again, like this video, comment on this video, share this video, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. I thank y'all for the love and support. Peace.